Hi everybody, it's Miss Jessie here, and today we're going to read a story called Tobin Learns to Make Friends. This is a great little book written and illustrated by Diane Morrell. Tobin the Red Engine was lonely. He had the conductor and the engine driver for friends, but they were so old. It was not the same as another engine friend. But Tobin was not sure how to make friends. Shouting. One day, Tobin, the little red engine, saw a bright new engine coming down the opposite track. He was very excited. A friend for me, he thought. Beep, beep, he whistled at his loudest as the new engine came by. Creak! Tobin's whistle was so loud that the other train jumped. The coal in the coal cars spilled onto the tracks when the engine jumped. The guard put his hands over his ears because the whistle hurt his head. Quickly, quickly, clickety, clickety, rushed the cars behind the startled engine. Let's get away from that loud noise. The engine raced by quickly and did not see Tobin's sad face. Oh dear, said Tobin's conductor. Tobin, you cannot shout at someone beside you. It alarms them, and they move away because the sound is so loud. Crowding. I will try again and make a friend, Tobin said. That morning, the station master asked Tobin's driver to push old cars down the track to the engine shed to be painted. Soon, Lyman came to help. Tobin was so thrilled to have a friend that he jumped off his tracks sideways. Tobin landed right bang splat on top of Lyman's rails. Lyman had no time to stop, and his nose hit Tobin's nose. Ouch! Shouted Lyman. My nose is squashed metal. You're in my space, and I can't work with you so close to me. Oh, Tobin, said his driver. If you want a friend, you must not get right up in his face. Tobin really did want to have friends. Sharing. One day, all the engines in the station had no work to do. It was like recess. Let's play Follow the Leader, shouted Jason, a big yellow train. They all followed him around and around, fast and slow. Let's play Pokemon cards, said Tobin. No, cried the engines. We still want to play Follow the Leader. Tobin kept arguing. I want to play Pokemon cards. The other engines were enjoying their game too much to listen to him. Tobin's driver came out from the roundhouse. Tobin, he said, to be a friend, sometimes you have to play what others want to play and think about them first. Borrowing. Each morning, Tobin woke up early in the roundhouse where the engine slept. One morning, he could not find his whistle. He chugged quietly over to Sarah, the pink engine, who was still asleep. He took her whistle without asking. When Sarah woke up, she was scared to not have a whistle. Then, after she heard Tobin blowing her whistle, she became angry. You did not ask me if you could borrow my whistle, Sarah said. Now I am mad. I don't want to be your friend. Interrupting. The station master and Tobin's driver were discussing a new route they had just been given. Tobin tried to interrupt them. "Excuse me," he said, jumping up and down. "Just a minute, Tobin," said the driver, waving his hand at Tobin. "Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me." Tobin's driver and station master could not hear their conversation because Tobin was so loud and would not stop repeating the words, "Excuse me." The driver became angry. "Tobin, you're not being polite," he said. "After you say excuse me one time, you should stop talking and wait silently." Taking turns. A week after Tobin returned Sarah's whistle and said, "I'm sorry," she decided to play with him again. They each tried to see who could blow the biggest puff of smoke. Tobin became so excited about puffing out clouds of smoke that he forgot all about Sarah. He took all the turns and wouldn't give Sarah a turn. Sarah chugged away down the tracks to play with someone else. She wanted to play with someone who remembered to give her a turn too. Being kind. A new little engine came by. "Oh, look," said Tobin. "You are so tiny." The little engine was upset that Tobin said he was so tiny. It hurt his feelings. "Say something nice," the engine driver said. "How about saying, 'Tiny, I bet you can fit through any tunnel and never get stuck.'" So Tobin did, and Tiny felt better. Good manners. The zoo train was coming. "Remember, no jumping, you'll frighten the animals," said the engine driver. Tobin did not jump, and he remembered what Sarah said about taking turns. He waited in line to see the animals. The zoo engine needed to go to the breakdown shed for some work. "Tobin, you have shown such good manners today. You were quiet around the animals and you did not jump. I like how you waited for your turn too. Would you like to pull the zoo train to its next stop while the engine is in the shed?" Tobin was so proud. The engines in the yard were happy to see Tobin get a reward for his good behavior. Rules. One day, as Tobin chugged along the line, he saw a red light flashing. It was the signal to stop. Tobin was having such a good time going fast, he did not want to stop. He did not obey the red light and ran on. Suddenly, Tobin started falling through the air. "Help!" The bridge track over a small valley was broken. Tobin landed on his nose. The sheep came to stare at him. His driver was upset that Tobin disobeyed the red light. He walked a long way to a telephone to call for help to pull Tobin out. A crane came and pulled him out and set him back on the tracks. Tobin learned another lesson. Rules are there to protect us. "Tobin," said the engine driver, "rules keep you out of trouble. They also help you make friends and help you keep friends. If you want to make friends or if you want to keep friends, remember, don't shout too loud and frighten friends. Don't crowd friends and get too close to their faces. Share in your friends' games. Don't borrow things without asking first. Take turns. Don't interrupt. Use kind words. Have good manners. Obey rules. Tobin does not always get it right. Sometimes he gets so excited he forgets a rule. But because he tries very hard, all the engines are now his friends.